Okay, here we are back inside MatrixGold. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. Hope you find the video useful and helpful. If you're a return viewer, thank you so much for the view time. Appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. Really help me out. I'd really appreciate it. And if you're a return viewer and subscriber, thank you very much. My humblest and deepest appreciations. Again, May 15th through the 19th, Gemvision Virtual Summit's coming up quickly, so please take a look at the link in the description below, in the comments or the description of the video, I guess, and be sure to register for each event that you'd like to attend to. I'd love to see you there. And please, you'll be able to ask questions and get all kind of information, so it's probably a good opportunity. So let's go ahead and get started today. First, let's go ahead and refresh, get everything new out there. Today we're going to make the flower ring, but I did go ahead and do some of the things already. I went ahead and pieced together some things. So what we're going to be using today is these two items here. All right. So I have these two items. I made this like in the last video. Excuse me, in the last video, except for this one, what I did was I put the stone out there and then actually built the petals around the stones and then just put a head on the stone in the center there. So that's all Boolean together and joined together. So that's all one piece. But you can see it's, I haven't cut the gemstone out yet, but very easy to do. Just to check out that last video on the flower. And I did this one by making the planer, doing the cutouts, and then piecing it all together. This one, though, what I did was I did draw a arc direction on this one here to make the roundedness of the petals. Okay, so a little bit different. Instead of just doing a blend, I actually put a arc direction on it. Okay, but if you look at the video, you'll understand, I think. If not, please let me know and I will demonstrate a little bit more about it. This one, what I did was just find a picture on the internet and just went to town. It was a little time consuming, but now that we have it, and I did keep it all separate, so I can take items at any time, and maybe I want this item, this item, this item, and this item, and this one, and I can just duplicate it and bring it out, so I can piece different things together. So it's really however you want to do it, but some of them are pieced together so that I can just tear it apart and make different things out of it. So the first thing I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to grab all that and I am going to group that together, because we'll just want that grouped. Well, maybe if we group it together, let's see, group, and it should be all grouped together. Yeah, so we can just move it around however we want, and this one's all pieced together, so the stone, just grab that and be able to move that around, of course. Okay, so we have these items that we're going to build our ring with, and let's see, so let's go ahead and get going on it. First thing we need to do, of course, is get a ring rail out there. So let's grab a ring rail. I'll just keep a size 7, make it easy, and I don't know why. Oh, we're in plastic mold, and you can't see your lines in plastic. So we have that, right? First thing I'm going to do here after I get the ring rail is go ahead and change my seam point, and I'm just going to drag that holding down shift to the bottom there, and then hit enter, and then I'll grab that curve and change it back to ring rail color layer there. So now that we have that, and our seam is at the bottom, which is what we want. So when we do the smart flow, it'll all be laid out there in the right order. The bottom of it will be on each end, not in the middle. If I leave it at the top, my middle would be the top of this ring, and it would be more difficult to flow everything. So it'd be easier to just move that seam. And now that MatrixGold has it there's no reason not to do it. So we got this. Now next thing we want to do is grab a line. I'm going to right click on this so we get both direction. And it doesn't really matter as far as the distance. We kind of just want a size, you know. So I'm going to click on the mid there, and then I'm going to drag up maybe 8.5, something like that, holding down shift, keep that level. Maybe so it'll be like around 9 millimeters total width wise, something like that, a little under, something like that. And then I'll go to my surface, and we'll just do a sweep 1 here, and we'll grab that ring rail, that little line there, and just hit enter, and then we will hit enter again and keep that, right? So next thing we'll do is we'll go to transform, we'll go to auto base, and we'll hit enter. And then since we're in the transform area, I'm just going to go ahead and then center that, hit enter, and then I'm just going to drag it straight out so I know it's center with everything. So, and then of course that's a little bright, so let's tone it down a little. In this next part, you don't have to do, it's just my personal preference. I like to outline it. So I'll just go ahead and do my edges, this one, this one, this one, this one, and hit enter, and then I will turn off that layer, and then I'll grab one more line curve here and then put it right in my mid there, so I have a mid area that I can work with. Okay, and then right away I'll take all that yellow. Well, we'll need it here. Well, no, yeah, nah. I'm debating on whether I should lock it. So we'll just leave it like that for right now. So I have a bad problem of taking things I don't want. So let's go ahead and get this kind of set up a little bit. First thing we'll do is we'll just grab this, and I'll just go to that point there, and I will drag it to my mid there. So it's on the mid of my middle of my line, which is where I want it. And then I'll just pull that up, kind of get it to where it's flat on my line right there, right? So that's kind of where I want it. The next thing I'm going to do is, well, we want some kind of a shank on this, right? So we can add some design. We'll add this scroll work into it. And if you haven't or don't know how to do the scroll, let me know in the comments, and I'll show a little bit. This was just a lot because there's so many pieces involved. It was a lot to draw out, so I didn't want to waste your time for this particular video. But if you would like a video on the scroll work itself, please leave a comment. Okay, and for some reason I'm on plastic. I keep forgetting. All right, so we have this. So now we need a kind of a shank type thing, right? So I'm just going to grab a line. I'm going to turn off my snaps, and I'm going to go in and pick in somewhere around here. And then I'm just going to go and turn back on my snaps and go to my mid there. And then I'll go to that curve, and I'm just going to rebuild it. And I'll just leave it at a degree 4, 5 points, and hit OK. And then I'll turn on my points. And we'll go to see where make sure none of those points are missing. Okay, there we are. And we'll grab this point here, and we'll just kind of bend it out something like this. We'll grab this point and maybe a little bit. You can make whatever shape you like. What I'm going to do here now, though, is I'm going to grab a line curve, and I'm going to have my point snaps on, I think. Point, yeah. And I'm going to take this here, and I'm just going to hold down shift and draw a line out like this. And that's only because I want these two lines equal in it's going the same direction. So I'll grab it right there in the middle, and I'll just move it there, and then I'll just get rid of that line because we don't need it anymore. So I know that this line and this line are coming straight toward each other. All right. So this is kind of the shape we're going to maybe be going for. So we'll just go ahead and get rid of those points. And now we'll put a profile net. So we'll go to Tools, Profile Placer. And we'll kind of go here, get it in our wireframe so we can kind of see it. Let's just go ahead and hide green here. And we want to swing that profile up into place. So I'm going to grab that blue line there, hold down Shift, 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5, something like that. And then I'm going to change that profile, and we'll change it to this one here and hit select. Okay, so we have that. Now I don't want it so thick, maybe around 1.5, maybe something like that, and we'll keep it at a 2 height, and we'll put another one down here, and we'll do the same thing. Grab that blue line, swing it around, something like that. And now I'll turn back on my shading there and take a look and see where it's at. You can't see it, but it doesn't matter. We're going to Boolean that piece off, so it's no big deal if it goes inside there. Actually, we want it to go inside there. Let's see. We'll go ahead and see what this does. We're going to do some manipulation with this, so this is to kind of get it started. And we'll go to Surface 1. We'll select our rail there, and our profile in here, and our profile here, and hit enter. And we'll give it some shading, and we'll kind of that's okay, it looks like, and we'll hit enter. And now with this one, for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and take it, and I'm going to edit it, and I'm just going to pull it over just a little, and then hit enter. Okay, and now I'm going to select that, go to transform, and I will go to my dynamic mirror or parametric mirror, and then switch it to all 4. Oh, I can't switch to all 4. Okay, because we don't want it in the Y. We want it there because it will throw it over to the other side, right? So we'll go ahead and take that, and then we'll take this, and we will mirror it, and we'll turn on this, and we'll make sure we're snapping to our line. So we'll just go ahead and hide this and hide this. We want to snap to our mid. Oh, okay, let's do that again. My bad. I must have put them in the same spot. Oh no, we don't want to do that. So let's undo one more time there. Okay. Now we'll grab these two, and we will mirror it. Usually you can grab that line. There it is. Mid. There it is. Okay. And then mirror those like that. So now that we have this, now we have a big gap there, which we don't want, right? But it, again, like I said, it was just to get us a little look. So here we'll grab that. We'll go to edit, and then we'll just kind of bring it back and see what that does. And there's a little rail there. We want to kind of make it even, so we'll just grab it one more time, and we'll hit edit, and then just oh, not that, 1.5. okay, we want this one, and we'll just kind of bring it in a little and then hit enter. So now we'll have the same thickness there, or we should have, pretty close. Looks like there's a little indentation. Let's take that again, edit, and go to our move, and just kind of move it in so that now it's one going across, right? Something like that. All right, so we have this. Next thing now you can see we have this in. It's no big deal because you can Boolean this and then remove that piece there, and it'll be okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to our curves, and we're going to extract an ISO curve somewhere around here. That should be okay. We can always manipulate that maybe. So we'll hit enter, and we'll take that curve, and we will mirror it to our other side. Mirror, grab that line, on that line right there. Let's go ahead. let's take this and turn it to this and turn it off. Okay, so let's take this line here and then mirror it from here, and we'll swing it around to our other side here. Okay, now let's just turn that back on. Okay, so, and go like that. All right, so we have that, right? So let's go ahead and let's turn that layer off again, and let's go ahead and turn this layer off, and then we'll change it to this layer here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a line from this curve, the ISO curve we extracted into there, right? And then down here, I'm going to grab those two curves and I'm going to do a little trim action. Well, I don't want to ungroup them. Okay, I want to take those two curves and I want to trim this section here and this section here and hit enter and hit OK, because that's what we want there. Now we need to make a surface off of this. So let's go ahead and make a surface. Sweep 2, but the old sweep 2, because we'll need to take it from a point, right? So sweep 2, this will be our first rail, this will be our second rail, that'll be one profile. Then we'll go down here to point and select that point there, and it makes that surface there. Okay, so let's take that surface and we'll change it to this layer, and we'll get all our shading back. All right, and now what we want to do is get an ISO curve. So we're going to go in here, grab an ISO curve, we're going to take it off of this surface here, and we're going to snap it so that it disappears and hit enter. So now we have that curve there, right in the center. And let's turn back on our green and turn everything back on. It goes in there, but it's not going to be there, so no worries. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that curve and I am going to split that curve. I'm going to right click over here, and then I'm going to kind of right up in here somewhere by my flower where it goes into my flower, and I'm just going to snip it right there. And then now I have this curve here, so it's a little bit shorter, right? And that's kind of what I want. All right, so we have that all set up. Now let's come over here and talk about this puppy here. Everything's grouped together. It's not joined together, it's just grouped together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and right now you can see it kind of goes off to one side. I kind of want it in the center here. So I'm going to click on rotate, and I'm going to snap somewhere up here in the mid, and then I'm going to kind of go where I want it, somewhere like around here, and then hold down shift, and it just locks it straight across, right? And now what I'm going to do is grab another line, turn off my snaps, and kind of like right up in here somewhere, and hold down shift so it goes straight through, and somewhere down in here, maybe something like that. Okay, so I have all this going on. All right, and this is all grouped together again. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to transform, and we'll just go down to a flow. All right, flow along curve. Okay, and it'll ask me to select objects to flow along curve. We're going to take that whole group, we're going to hit enter. Select my base curve, that'll be this one. Select my target curve, which will be the one that I just trimmed, right? And I'm going to select up toward the top and then hit enter. And give it a few seconds. It's a lot to flow on there, and there you go. There it floated on there, and you can tell it's a little sticking out there, and it's a little maybe long. So there's all kind of things you can do. You can first just take it and move it around if you want. It's going to break history, but you have it there now, so it's no big deal. You can go in there and do taper. You can do all kind of things. I'm just going to go ahead and just do a little manipulation here. I'm going to shorten it up a little, and I'm going to drag it back up a little, and maybe thin it out on both sides a little, and kind of move it up a little again, so we can kind of get it to where we want it in there, right? And that doesn't look too bad. And if you want it a little thicker, you could always just take it and then kind of beef it up a little bit, and then bump it up a little. So there's lots of manipulation you could do, set it up however you want. And you know, there's some points going on there. There's a little let's go to our top view so I get a better view here. Let's move this over a little, just a little bit more perhaps. Something like that, and then just kind of bump it out a little. Something like that. Yeah, there we go. All right, so that's kind of interesting. And we have it going over there. Is that going over? Yeah, that's going over a little bit. So we can take that. You can do a you can do a taper. There's all kind of things. I'm just going to rotate it a little bit. So from around here, here, and just kind of bring that taper down a little bit to get that end inside. So we got something like this going on. All right, and it's touching here, touching there, coming over here, and so it's set up pretty decent. And I think that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to take this surface, go ahead and hide it. So I have something like this going on. Now you could do all kind of joining and everything. I'm going to leave all that up to you. I don't think you want to sit there and watch me do all that. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and we'll go ahead and do that flow and see what it looks like. We don't need to flow both because we can mirror it once it's up there, right? So we'll go easy on the computer and just flow one side of it. Now I'm going to take this, and take this, and I'm going to go ahead and group that together to make it easier for me to pick. And this is all grouped together already, so we're good to go. So let's see how this goes. Let's go to our transform to our auto smart flow. We'll click here, select our base there, select our destination here. Take a look. It's going down, that's going up. Let's go ahead and flip that one. Just to see, and it's going this way. Let's go ahead and flip this one, not that one, this one too. See what that does. Oh, it's not the one. No, that we want this one. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Well, maybe this will be all right. I think we're still going to have to flip it though. But let's go ahead and give it a go here. So objects to flow, that'll be this one. We're going to select this group and we're just going to go ahead and hit enter and give it a few seconds to see how it flows up there. And it flows up pretty good. All right. All right. So let's go ahead and now we'll hit enter and give it a second. All right, instead of flowing all that, just one side, and then we can mirror it, right? Now we're going to do that flow one more time. We're going to select our auto base, select our surface, and this time we're going to take this piece, but we're going to make it rigid. We don't want it deformed. So we're going to take this one and go ahead and hit enter. And that one flipped upside down, so let's go ahead and flip that there, and there we go, okay? And it's going in there. That's okay. Looks all right. Yeah. Okay. So far, so good. And then we'll hit enter. And now what we'll do is we'll just take this side and we'll just go to transform, go to mirror, and it should flip it over to the other side and hit enter. Okay, and then we can go ahead and hide this surface, and we have our ring. The only thing you have to do is get that gemstone, right? And I would just go ahead and grab another gem. I mean, it's really easy to get up in there, and then size it however size you want. Move it, make sure it's in place. Maybe a little bit smaller here. And go in and move it up a little, maybe a little bit more in, and there we go. We have a gem in there. Okay, and there you go. There's your ring. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, and you can add little small diamonds in there if you want to. There's all kind of things you can do with this. Let's go to plastic mode and take a look at it. But there's a nice little pretty cool ring, and your shank there is all good. So let's go ahead. Let's because you know the way I did that shank, I left everything solid, right? So let's talk about that shank here real quick. Let's go ahead, take all this and all this. All well, let's hide that. That's going. Oh, there we go. I wonder why. I wonder why. Okay, so you know, I left all that, you know, closed off and everything, right? To me, it's I don't mind doing this. Maybe some people think that it's you know, you should do it while it's laid out. It's personal preference, I guess. But really, all I have to do is go in to my surface. Oh wait, let me grab all this yellow here and get rid of it. Alrighty. All right. So all I really have to, well, there's one more. And we'll get rid of that one. All right. So now I just maybe have my ring out here. All right. Let's see. So I can go to my surface. I can go to planar, right? I can put it on a cutting layer or whatever. And I can just draw a plane out here like this. And I can right click, bring it back and draw a plane out like this, right? And now I can, first of all, what I want to do probably is ungroup this stuff. Ungroup so that I can pick each one individually, right? I just want these rails. So what I can do is I can select those rails, that one, the 4 of them. Go to split, select this surface and this surface, hit enter, give it a second, and then I can take this, and this, and all, well, we'll just hide that. And then we'll just get rid of this, and see all this down here that it cut out? That's the part we don't need. So we'll just get rid of it. And then we'll just bring back everything. And again, I'll just go ahead and select all this stuff and select all this and hide it again. And our surface there that we used to create everything. And now everything's split, right? So I can just take those 4 items, I can join them together, and now I should have a closed poly surface, which I do. So that's real easy to do, right? I would have went ahead and done that Boolean first on one of them and then just probably spun them around. But you'll have to do that Boolean. Let's see, we can probably go ahead and do it. Let's go to solids, Boolean difference. We'll take this surface as our, no. We want this surface as our first surface, this surface as our second surface. And give it a second. And then hit, oh, it split it out there. So let's do that again. Okay, so we'll do it backwards. We'll take this surface, enter, this surface, enter. And it entered and it deleted my item. So let's go back. All right, let's go back for that split. Sorry, do that split again. Before I did that, all that splitting, it's easier just to do one. That's, I guess that's why. So here we are. Now we have this group. Let's ungroup that. Ungroup. So now it's easier, right? So we'll take, let's see, we'll go to Boolean difference. This surface, enter with this surface, enter. No, let me get this right here. One more time, this surface, enter. We want this one cut with this, enter. Yeah, that's what we want, and enter. Okay, yeah. And we lost my item there. So let's go back one more time, and this time, before we do it, let's take this, duplicate it. That I should have done this first place. Enter and turn it to red and turn it off. Okay, so now let's do that Boolean. So we'll do Boolean difference. We'll take this, enter, and then boom, it lost my item there. Well, now it's back. Don't ask, I don't know. And we'll take this surface. Is there only one there? Yeah, okay. We'll take this surface and we will ungroup it. And then we can just get rid of that, right? All right, so now that's got the cutout, right? So now we can just delete this one, delete, oh, not that, well, it doesn't matter. Then we can take this and we can go to transform, mirror, multi, there we go. And then one more, hit enter, and then all this is individual. So let's take this surface and hide it real quick. And let's turn off our gem. Let's select all that. And let's group that together again. Okay, and then we'll just go ahead and do a mirror with that. And hit enter. Okay, so it's over to our other side. And let's bring back our gem. And let's bring back our flower there. And get rid of all this. I should just delete it, but I like to keep things. What's going on there? Why did it... That side's jacked. So let's take that, get rid of it. Let's take this. For some reason... Oh, because they're not the same area all over. So let's go back again. We'll need to do those individually. Okay, one more time. One more time. There we go. Okay, so that one's fine. So we'll go forward on that one. So this one's okay. And then we have this hidden right here. So we'll just turn that back off just in case. And let's just go through and do all these here. So let's take this, ungroup it. Okay, and then do these booleans here. Boolean difference, we'll take this surface, enter, cut by this surface, enter, and it explodes it, and then comes back. So we'll take that, we'll ungroup it, and we'll select this piece here and delete it, okay? And we'll come over here to this side, and we'll take this one, and Boolean difference with our cutting surface here, and we'll hit enter, and we want to take that one, ungroup it, and take this piece here, and I think there was one other little piece, this one, yeah, that one, and we'll do it one more time. Boolean difference, this one, enter with this one, enter, and then take this, ungroup it, and get rid of that piece. Okay. So now all those cutouts, so you can't see any of those. You get all the flower, and if you put black antiquing down in there, it'll really pop for you too. So all that's good to go. And the last thing would be is to do that splitting in all fours again to get that all one area there. So we'll do it from this side. We'll right click, bring it back, and do it from this side. And then we will take those 4 rails, 1, 2, 3, 4, split with this, and hit enter. And delete, and we should be able to just scoop all that up. And we'll go ahead and delete, and hopefully this will work okay. So we'll take this surface, this, and this, and we will join those together, and we have a closed poly surface. So you're good to go. Last thing you need to do is Boolean union these, and then do all this in here, and you're good to go. So hopefully this was interesting and kind of helped you out a little. You could also put little diamonds in there. You could do all kinds of little things if you wanted to. You could also, let's see, let's go back to this area here. What I did earlier was add diamonds in through here too as well. So we have that one you can do. There's a lot you could do with this. So, and with the scroll and keeping it separate like we did, you have all kind of scroll stuff if you ungroup it that you can use to make different things. You know, however you want to piece them together. So once you do all that, which is a lot of work, I have to admit, but once it's done, you're able to mix and match those pieces to whatever you know, design you want to make out of them, which is really pretty cool. It's can really help you out a lot doing different kinds of things. So hopefully the video helps, and if it did, please leave a like, subscribe, and a comment below. Really appreciate your time watching, and hopefully this was pretty interesting for you. If you want to know more about the scroll or how I did the flower, there's another video on the flower. The scroll work, if you need to know or you want to know, please leave me a comment and I'll do that. So again, thanks for watching. Good designing. Take care.